Happy New Year. It is
Oh,
Tinkle and Vic. We're still in 2023. We've got a couple more days left, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Tinkle called me today, very excited to get on this thing. He texted me, not called me. He doesn't, we're not that old. But
yeah, we
and
don't.
I was trying to bulk out and I was gonna use Raw as an excuse. My back was hurting. I had another thing to do, and then all of a sudden I started reading his text about how excited he was and how he wishes we were. And I said, fine, let's do this, even though I really do want to be on here. And now I'm like, oh, I started thinking about it afterwards. I'm like, yeah, there's so much to talk about as we head into 2024.
Yeah. There's a lot to talk about. There's a big pay-per-view on Saturday, and then there's a big AEW, and then of course we got the year end. So in terms of like Raw, kind of stopped with like a whimper. I would say that WWE is kind of not that much excitement, but
Well, I'm excited. I didn't think we needed it. And to be honest with you, Dynamite took advantage of that this week because I did. You watched Dynamite a little while ago, didn't you?
yeah. I usually watch it on Thursday afternoons.
I thought that I'll tell you. Okay, let me just tell you what I liked from it because I'm being positive about all this stuff. Swerve Strickland's promo after he found out that that he challenged Keith Lee and that Keith Lee had already got the contract approved or something. Anyway, I love that whole promo. This is after he lost.
Yeah,
The matches were great. After he lost, I was like amazed. I did not like the Samoa Joe thing, the swerve on that one. I wish they just kind of went into it the way they had planned, and I think it would have been better
yeah.
than
So
the
what was
obvious.
the so like Samoa Joe? Remember, dude? I listened to last week's episode, and I boldly predicted there's not going to be one devil. There's going to be like three of them, or like it's going to be like a conglomerate of devils, dude. So
Right.
is Joe part of the conglomerate of devils, or is he a
They sold it
independent
like
contractor who's working with the devils?
They sold it like he made a deal with the devil. That's what
Oh,
they kept
okay, all
saying.
right,
So they did it specifically so they could use that tired cliched line that he made a
yeah.
deal with the devil. And it's like, oh, okay, that was obvious. But I honestly I thought the swerve thing and Tony Schiavone, the way they interacted and everything, and Prince Nana, how he reacted to the whole thing. I actually loved that whole thing because he swerves when he drives and he swerves when he drives. You have to love that. Um, I don't want to get into the Eddie Kingston stuff yet, but that was great. The Eddie Kingston matchup was great. Um, there was some stuff that they announced by promo for World's End, and we can this can go into my Vic bitches about AEW constantly.
Yeah.
They announced that Miro and Andrade are going to have a match. This is while what's his name had her finger sliced open. Did you see that video of CJ Perry's
Oh
finger?
yeah, dude. She had some infection and then she flew with an infection and then it like
It
that was
went crazy.
gross, dude.
Yeah, they just cut it like in a zigzag, like great, and they opened it up and cleaned it out. Apparently, that's pretty wild how they did that.
Dude,
And
dude. It was like the grossest thing ever, but she's still like a model, so you're like, well, it's a little finger sliced into nine pieces. Who cares? It
I
was
think
awful though, dude. When
this is
she
gonna get
like dude, it was the only time she looked ugly is when she had that finger up to her face, and you're like,
this is gonna get me in trouble with standards and practices, but I thought it was kind of a turn on. I don't know why. I felt like it brought her down to my level that she was ill. No, I'm kidding with you. That was really a gross joke. I apologize right now, but anyway, nobody has a chance except Miro with CJ Perry. And but I don't like where's Miro been?
dude,
I haven't seen him.
because he won't, dude, like he apparently he won't job, and he doesn't like them. No, because they don't know what to do with him, and he
You know,
should be like an upper dude, but they don't treat him like that. So he'd rather sit out than like
at this point,
I think, right?
I'm going to give him credit because what would they do with him? They don't know what to do with him when he's there. So why would he give him the privilege of doing that? Normally, I would say, oh, all these people need to be wrangled, but with Miro, I think he's protecting himself because they don't know what to do with anybody.
Yeah,
They,
because
they
he knows how good he is. He knows he has like it's hard to explain, but he has like a real Even when, dude, because no one, dude, honestly, no one knows what the Jesus he's talking about when he starts doing that, and then the stand pulls through. Like no one knows what he's talking about, and then how God
But
turned his back on him. But it
people love
sounds
him.
amazing though, dude. It's awesome. I don't know what he's talking about, dude, but I love it.
I think he should have. I think he should have kept with the God's champion thing. But oh, either way, I love it.
And the
And to be
neck
honest,
made of sand, dude. That was a cool thing. He was like the dragon in the Hobbit, dude. He had one area that could be like killed.
his opponent isn't everybody else. It's himself and God.
Yes,
That's pretty damn philosophical. And I'm gonna say he's winning on that one, but they're not doing nothing. The best man gimmick was not his gimmick, and it clearly wasn't any good. Remember that? It's weird to think about this. How many years has he been with them now? A couple years?
since he what like 3 or 4. I
Yeah,
mean, it was definitely like
and they
yeah,
brought him in as like a video game buddy for Kip Sabian, who
yeah.
has a weird Tim Burton gimmick right now. I don't know.
Dude, I
Where's
don't know.
Penelope Ford, by the way? Nobody knows.
I feel like Kip Sabian must have been one of the first dudes that Tony Khan like called and was like, "I'm getting this wrestling." You know, he was someone who we probably saw in the Indies when he was a fanboy. He must have made a bunch of promises to that dude and like didn't want to hurt his feelings because there's no reason why this dude is still getting paid after. I mean, he hasn't. They have got no money out of this guy. They have got no money out of him at
I
all.
want I want to go on a tangent, but I'll bring this stuff up later. But it is amazing the lack of character development that they've done with Miro. They haven't put him in any matches, and now CJ Perry is. I don't even know if she's going to be there for that match this weekend.
He probably will be, dude. That's a banger match though, dude. That's like two big hosses, dude.
Oh yeah,
Because Andrade kind of gives the illusion that he's like a smaller kind of like luchador dude. I mean, that's like if I think about him, that's kind of why I think I kind of lump him in there unfairly. And then when he walks out, I'm always like, oh yeah, he's juiced out of his mind, dude.
yeah.
Like
He got on the gas and he's running.
he's got those softball shoulders that are really hard to come by.
No, no, that's like Barry Bonds at
Yeah,
one point. He's been using the clear, the cream,
he's been
the
using all of
juice,
them.
yeah, all of them.
The
But
toothpaste.
yeah, so they use that. Look, I thought the show was really good this week, but there's a couple other things I want to bring up, which I don't know if this was recent, but I saw it, so it's recent to me. I think it was recent because CM Punk and Eric Bischoff don't get along, and he was critical of him in AEW, and even Kevin Nash, because they didn't get along either. But Kevin Nash was talking about how he's making money like Tony Montana off the merchandise. His merchandise sales are like through the roof. They're like making a lot of money. And Bischoff was talking about AEW, and he compared them to TNA. And he says the only difference essentially between TNA and AEW is that AEW is dedicated to doing an arena show versus the shows in a studio. And he says they've got all the old WWE wrestlers, it's all the hype, and they've delivered on nothing else. And I thought it was intriguing, and I kind of had to partially agree with him on that a little bit. What do you think about AEW compared to TNA?
I mean, dude, I think I told you it wasn't until like 3 months ago I was watching an episode of Dynamite and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if this company is going to be around in 5 years. I just had this moment when I was like, well, like without seeing Punk and without the star power and because not only did CM Punk bring star power, but he also was in charge of his own angles and everything he touched for the most part was the best stuff on TV, like by far, like every feud he had.
Well,
So
well,
I
let's,
mean,
well, let's
they're
talk
also
about.
like they don't have that there. They don't have that quality, like the quality control level like that he had, like no one else there has. Like the Young Bucks, I don't feel like they're giving great finishes. Like none of those guys. I feel like he was the one, and without him, it is like a TNA, right? Kind of like
Yeah, they were better with him. They were, and I'll admit that. Here's the thing too. You look at that, and there's some recent developments. You got the Young Bucks wife that was running marketing, and she's out. Apparently, there was complaints from wrestlers that she wasn't doing great with the marketing. Number one, I think there's WWE has a lot of t-shirts, but AEW has way too many t-shirts. They have CMFTR. Remember they like it just doesn't make any
Yeah, well, they're
sense.
like a t-shirt company that's like playing the odds where you can they have so much stuff that you can sell a shirt for a couple bucks. So it's like if you sell 1,000 of them a bunch of different times over, if you could trick 1,000 people to buy that CM Punk shirt when it's not going to be ever aired again and there's going to be no reference to it ever again.
I don't think their merch is doing that great, number one.
No, and also they have a problem at the live events with the merch. I don't know if you heard, but that's a big thing.
Raphael Morphy, who travels with Jim Ross and who does the event booking, leaving the company to book for Barclays.
Oh
No,
wow.
one of those ex WWE guys that ended, or WCW WWE guys that ended up um, going over and now is bailing out on them. You've got the Young Bucks are out. You got Kenny Omega. I know he's injured, but was supposed to be like a pillar of the company, and he's really been kind of he hasn't lived, and I don't think it's anything his fault, but they hasn't lived up to the hype. They haven't booked him correctly over the last year. Um, Cody's been gone for a long time. Sean Spears gone in January.
Yep.
You
Well,
know,
yeah, I mean, he was another friend of Cody's.
and
Like he was part of that group.
they just didn't do anything with these dudes. ROH doesn't make any sense. And I love the ROH brand. I feel like it's dying to be resurrected, but I think he's trying to fix everything with AEW first. But I honestly think it needs some attention now.
Well, look at it, dude. Look at the two, if you like two Ring of Honor OGs who really have not had a spot anywhere else other than Jay Lethal was in TNA, but like Briscoe and Lethal, look, those are the two who jobbed out.
Yeah.
Like those are the only two pure Ring of Honor guys, and those were the two guys who they jobbed out until the end where they let one jobber beat the other jobber because his brother anniversary of his death is coming up.
Ethan Page is over there. Apparently Scorpio
He's great, dude. Both those guys are cool. Like
Athena's and Billy Starks are over there. We've joked about the Starks. There's like the Cages and the Starks, like the Jones and the Hendersons.
Dude, I feel like with Scorpio Sky, every 4 months, like all of a sudden you like see him for 2 weeks, you forget about him for 3 months, and then on month 4, he does some like vignette saying he's been overlooked and he's coming back, and then he'll do the snap.
He's gone.
And then he'll wrestle for 2 more weeks. And then people will cheer, and then he's gone again. And then 4 months later, he'll do another promo where he's like, I've been gone, but now I'm back.
I just think a lot of things are kind of falling, and they're putting things out there. And then we had talked about this, and I think it's a good chance to get into it because we don't have to go through. I thought it was a good show this Wednesday. But one of the things that they try to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, and I was just, I'm not into it, was the Jericho
jackpot. Dude, I was waiting for you to say it. I wasn't.
I mean, he has no partner, and what do? They'd been working on this Sammy Guevara thing, and then Guevara's been out because his wife had a baby, Taya Conti, and I don't know, maybe he was injured too, I don't know, or yeah, he had a concussion or something as well.
Yes,
and then he had a baby, and he's been out. But they built this whole program up, and then they threw it away. And I get it, you're making chicken salad out of chicken-ish, but I don't understand how you can do that. Then they throw Sting and Darby Allin. And again, before we get into Jericho, just to throw that, Darby Allin, remember they had the 4 pillars thing? MJF has been the only one that's lived up to that. Darby Allin hasn't been.
I say
like
he
Sting's sidekick.
He's second, dude. I go MJF, Darby,
Jungle Boy, and Sammy,
and then Jungle Boy last. I think.
I'm going to tell you this: they're not pillars. They're not pillars of that company. The only one is MJF. The other 3 have been buried in a way. You got Robin, which is Darby Allin. You got Sammy Guevara, who's had this stops and starts for various reasons, and then you have Jungle Boy, who's been disappeared because he wanted to use real glass or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because he got the dude who just had record ratings. He got him fired, dude.
I don't know. Look, CM Punk got himself fired. I
Yeah,
honestly,
but the dude, he would have never done that if Jungle Boy didn't say that smart. Dude, he had him on a barrel. CM Punk has been he shouldn't have done it, but he named himself the backstage sheriff of AEW, which was stupid. So if you get like if you call yourself the sheriff and then you get like disrespected like that, there's no way that anyone there thought that he wasn't going to come up to him after that incident right before his match. There's no way. Dude, he knew he was the next match. He's a little brat, dude. And you know what? Luke Perry was no Jason Priestley in my book. I'll say it, dude. I'll look you right in the
I'm
eye
gonna
right
tell you
now.
that I don't know. I don't know. Well, if Arn Anderson was back there, would he have done that? Because he wasn't around during this period. Maybe that there was something to
Well,
why why Cody brought some of these older guys in there like that.
like first of all, like how do you get into a spot where someone wants to do something and all the other he wants to go through actual glass, all the other people working there go, dude, this guy won't listen to us, we don't want him to do this, he won't listen to us, let's get CM Punk, everyone listen to him. So CM Punk has nothing to do with it, dude, and then they ask him to help. He is the sheriff of AEW, so he goes over there to try to and he doesn't, all he tries to do is tell this kid, and then he goes on TV and tries to like get under his skin to be a little brat, dude.
Well,
F off, dude.
I
F
understand
off.
that, but you just blow it off. That's what you have to do.
He
And
could,
he
dude, but he named himself the sheriff, dude.
I think
You couldn't.
I think what we learned about CM Punk over the because since he's been gone and the reason he's been gone from WWE is, he cares about what he's doing. He doesn't deal with frustration well, and if this is going to be a waste of his time because he can't be the only one having a great matchup for people to tune in.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems that way right now because he's such a hit again. He's kind of really proved himself as a ratings guy.
I
Did
know,
you
isn't
see
that
the
awesome?
video?
Dude, all the people who hate him, but he's so good, dude. So it
The,
must be
the,
really irritating if you're someone who doesn't like him, which by the way, a little teaser, we have I went to social media. We have some really cool
Tinkle and Vic.
yes. So we have some really cool points for some people later on we're gonna go over. And like for every one person who says CM Punk was their favorite part of the year, there's someone else who's like F CM Punk. And I'm like, he's so polar. I don't see how you can see that side of it because
It's like John
for
Cena
me,
was
he
for a
just
long
made
time.
he made wrestling so good, dude. And it hasn't
Right.
been that good in a long time. And his angles with MJF and all that, like I think have been because let's face it, dude, 99% of the time, pro wrestling is not good, dude.
Remember when John Cena, when like for a few years, the whole industry ran on John Cena sucks. No, he doesn't. John Cena sucks, and the kids love him, and it was this weird two-faced thing. That's where we've gotten. Did you see the video of them at MSG presenting him with a like a Tiffany's engraved
Yeah.
crystal thing saying congratulations 10 years back and it's sold out, it's another record. Like I'm amazing stuff. But you know what? Honestly, let's say AEW has access to Madison Square Garden. You know, let's say they put that on. I don't think it gets sold out. Honestly, I don't think. I think there's a little bit of that. He's an A player with by himself, but he's an A plus player with WWE and with
Yeah.
AEW. I think he was bringing AEW up to the A level
He
versus.
was the only draw, dude. They don't have a draw right now.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a I mean, if you like wrestling, then you like Daniel Bryan and you like Samoa Joe, but those guys aren't like selling tickets to casual fans who hear about it on TV.
And Samoa Joe, I should have put him on my. We'll go over with our list later, but I put him on my honorable mention list because I think Samoa Joe is doing a great job, and I think he also was making chicken salad out of chicken-ish on this past episode of Dynamite because I think they went the wrong direction with it. I think they should have just had him go in and not be making deals with the devil and all that junk. But he's been compelling on the microphone, and he's been compelling as a opponent for MJF. Um, we were going to talk about this. Let's get back to Chris Jericho.
Yeah. So can I say what so I started watching this unfold. He came in to help Sammy, and I was like, he's turning face. Like, dude, stop. Like, dude, bro, we don't need you on TV, dude. Maybe if Kenny Omega is gone, maybe then you need to be like, oh, maybe I should take a break too and come back in a couple months. Instead of this whole like, oh, now we have to shift and I have to take poor Sammy. He like just had a baby. He's at the hospital.
Where's FTR? Why aren't they wrestling Big Bill and Ricky Starks? That'd be a damn good matchup.
So when Sting and them came to help out Jericho and them, I immediately okay, tell me, I tell me if you saw this. I immediately said, this prick Jericho dude he found a way to get himself into Sting's goddamn retirement, dude.
Well,
dude, tag team match. I'm calling it right now, dude. Sammy and Jericho are going to turn on Sting and Darby and that kind of thing, and that's going to be the retirement match in March. I'm calling it right, dude. Why else would they be being friends with each other to not be? Because they added the 8-man tag on, so they got like 3 months for him to be friends with Sting, and then for them to turn on him, and then that'll be the match. Dude, I get that scumbag prick, dude. I guarantee you, he found a way to weasel his way into it, dude. I guarantee you, dude.
You don't think Sting could go in a solo match at all, or you think?
I don't think he wants to. I don't think he. I think he absolutely doesn't want to.
Edge
he hasn't had one solo match.
Edge was the one that was saying the Father Time stuff. He was like Father Time's about Sting, because he said it's amazing being around Sting, but you know,
you can't do a match. I mean, not real. I mean, you know, that's why he has to have Darby in there, because Darby does.
You don't think he can do a winded Ric Flair match where he's wearing a tunic? You know,
dude, that was so hard to watch, man. I thought he died twice in that match. So did you not? Because as soon as, dude, I was like, why? So I was like, oh, look, Jericho got himself in a storyline with Sting. In his brain, he think, oh, 2 icons. We've never had matches. And then I was like, this guy can't get over himself. And then I was like, oh, this dude got himself into his retirement match.
I hope not. I'm waiting for something. I mean, let's talk about this. You got Sting over there deteriorating, getting carried up by his Robin, Darby Allin. Hasn't had a breakthrough matchup. It's cool to see him as a feature, but I mean, at the same time, it's kind of sad. I would have preferred him going out with a world title match against Seth Rollins, even though it was a disaster. But again, disagree. We can disagree with me all we want. Then you got the Hardys, who are just being jobbed out weekly with the old Hardy Boy music and everything. They're being jobbed out consistently over there. You've got Edge and Christian, and as much as that's going and Christian's doing his best work, to be honest with you, since Edge has come on board, I think it's kind of idled out. I think Christian by himself had hit a really good vein there, and he was doing really well. I think Edge is kind of, I don't think people are that up for this thing.
Well, they were, and now they're not, because they don't show them on TV anymore. And like, what happened to the feud? Like, they just haven't been on TV for like 3 weeks.
It has been a terrible, terrible job, and people don't care. And so you're watching these guys who are in great shape, by the way, but at the same time, I think people want to move on a little bit, and people don't want to call Edge Adam Copeland. I honestly believe that is a part of it. And we talked about Miro, we've talked about Andrade, who's kind of, I mean, what has he done that's special? We've watched Daniel Bryan with an eye patch for weeks have these great matches that he always has, but they always kind of feel the same recently.
Yeah, they kind of do now, dude. It's kind of a bummer.
And you're looking at all the WWE guys over there, and it's like, and it kind of shows you where Vince was ahead on that stuff, because I know you can't do anything about the Daniel Bryan stuff. Again, I think they do a better job over there, but for damn sure, I think the Hardys need to call it a career, go out on top. I think
Go out
Sting,
on top.
I mean, go out standing at this
Dude,
point.
just yeah. Just go out, dude. And we'll
Yeah,
worry about how.
it has been a disaster. And I'm trying to think of it.
And
What
also,
other?
let's be honest, dude. The, they can't really go, dude. Like they can't really go, and they don't know how to let them have matches where they can shine and not get hurt. Like they do with Sting, but that's because Sting has like that like buffer, and Darby Allin doesn't give a shit what happens to his body. But the Hardy Boys can't really go anymore, so they need to be like taken care of, and they're not being taken care of. They're
No,
allowed to do their same stuff, and they can't do it anymore. It's not their
it's
fault. They're just older, dude. You can't.
it's time they become the Michael Hayes character to who they were. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Well,
these
they
people,
tried, but they're not really that good of. They're not really that good of. I mean, dude, Matt Hardy has tried to do what 4 different characters.
oh my God. No, Matt Hardy made himself on the indies and they killed that too.
Yeah,
And
because
I know
that
they try to blame WWE for that, but WWE that didn't work in WWE. The Matt Hardy has been they're letting him do the delete thing and everything, and people are already over it. That was like 5 years ago.
I think it was cool, and then it was cool because it was different, but it wasn't really pro wrestling. So I think it had like a limited shelf life, and I mean, because like they're shooting each other with fireworks. Like I remember someone was like saying how cool it was. Oh yeah, it was on. I was on the podcast with. We were on an episode of the Real Ass podcast with me and Lewis, and one of the guests was on there, and he was talking about how. And Lewis doesn't really watch pro wrestling, so the guy was like, "Yeah, go find that Matt Hardy thing." So I remember like he was so animated, like telling us how funny it was and how great it was, and we like put it on and we like watched like a minute of it, and like it just bombed in the room because we're like, "Wait, what? Why are they shooting fireworks?" Like I think it's kind of like that AEW is like all that stuff is good for those people that are into that. And I think once you go outside of that, that's what that Hardy shit is. It's like it's not
It's
really.
different audiences, and it was
Yeah.
great. And it spiced up TNA, and I really enjoyed it. But I really wish these people, they had Scotty Too Hottie, by the way, do a dark match. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, he's a producer there as well, right? I think. Is he? I think he is.
I think he is. He's been on and off producing,
Um,
but
who did he wrestle?
I don't care. I
Did,
mean, I knew about it yesterday, but then it
did
disappeared from
like
my head.
in my mind, it was like Miro and him had like a banger, and like no one, and then,
Yeah.
like no one knew about it. He went out there and like killed it, dude. And then like Miro was just like, someone pointed out to me, or someone I heard it on a podcast, but if you watch the WrestleMania when Stone Cold against Kevin Owens, if you watch that match again, that table spot in that match was the only table spot in the whole show for like WrestleMania. So I don't think it's any kind of coincidence that Stone Cold was probably like, "Hey, we're using a table," and it went from room to room. Oh, hey, they got a table. Find something else to do. I don't think that happens in AEW actually at all, ever,
Yeah.
ever. But that like needs to happen more on shows where it's not people know what other people are gonna do. It's like what like they made a stupid joke about it with Jericho and Sting. Oh, they both have bats, so they threw each other the bats back and forth because they. Well, why they both have bats, dude? Jericho shouldn't have a bat because Sting had a bat longer. So why did Jericho get a bat?
Well, he named it Floyd. So there you go.
If this guy gets that goddamn retirement match, dude, I swear to God, dude.
I will not. I'll not be happy. I probably won't watch that at all. I'm not looking forward to the retirement match because honestly, I think what we've all learned from the Ric Flair thing. Thank God Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had some sense and he turned down all this opportunity
Yeah.
to do it because it's just not. I mean, I don't care if you put yourself with FTR. It's still not a good idea. It's not a good idea. And I'm just tired of these things. So it's amazing some of the negative stuff, and I don't want to go out on a negative thing. I think they had a lot of great stuff this week, but Am I into the Edge thing now? No, I was into it that night, and they blew that ending that night that they had the match on Dynamite. Which again, I agree with you. Why isn't that on a pay-per-view?
Well, now it's like they like heated them up unless they had plans, unless like Edge had to be somewhere for the last 3 weeks, but
He
it makes
probably
no
did.
sense on how you're going to
He
heat them up
isn't
and
he
then
on
just what's
isn't he on
up?
Percy Jackson and the Olympians or something? Yeah, he's on that.
Yeah, yeah, he's on that
Maybe
show.
that's what it is. Go
I
be on
mean,
Percy Jackson's and the Olympians.
look, if there's one company that's going to let you come in and say, "Hey, heat me up for 3 weeks, and then I'm going to leave for 3 weeks because I have a job already," and you don't tell them to f off and be like, "Dude, this is my company. You're going to do what I say." AEW is definitely the kind of company where you can come in and like swing your balls around and be like, "Hey,
Dom and Rhea Ripley were in Perth, Australia, and we didn't get we they came back and it was like they were never gone. They were gone for like 2 weeks, I think.
yeah,
There's I don't understand how you can't pull this stuff off.
dude." You know what I was thinking? Because I was seeing some of their posts on there. I was like, how great would it be if Dominic just wins her over for real, dude? Just on his charm, like in that
Take
trip,
that, Buddy
and they
Murphy.
fall in love. Do they fall in love looking at kangaroos?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but
I could
because
root for that. She got those scorpions now on her stomach. She's gonna just keep covering herself with
dude,
tattoo.
he probably is like a true like bad boy to her because he's like, dude, they don't have any Mexicans in
No,
Australia,
she's all about chill.
dude.
If we didn't learn anything from Shrimp on the Barbie with Cheech and the Australian chick and the guy from Mad Max,
Oh my god, they are doing a new shrimp on the
oh,
Barbie, dude. That's what it
they are
is.
doing. I told you. That's a reference for you Gen Zers. Go watch Shrimp on the Barbie.
Well, don't watch it, but just read what's about.
It's Cheech Marin's third best movie that he's ever done, or probably fourth. I forget all the. I have to consider all the Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like 7 or 8.
Up in Smoke. Uh, yeah, Up in Smoke is the best one, and then there's next movie. Got to go with those. Got to go with those. Rob Van Dam knows,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's another guy. They signed Rob.
Oh yeah, they brought him in, dude. They paid a bunch of money to have his song on there, and then just like nothing, dude.
CM Punk was the one making fun of Rob Van Dam in 2010, saying, "What is this, 2005?" And now it's 2023. AEW signing up Rob Van Dam, teaming him with Hook.
Yeah,
Oh
just because
my!
you have the money, right?
Just because you have the money, that's it. And I'm telling you, it's interesting. But oh well. Did you watch NXT this week at all?
I did watch.
At
I
least
did
the main
watch.
event.
Was that the one with Donovan Dijak? And I watched the
His name is just
Underground.
Dijak now, and
Dijak.
yeah, now
Yeah,
they got NXT.
I watched the Underground match.
I like that concept. I'd like to see like us. I'd like to see something like a Hammerstein ballroom with that, and do a whole card underground. Am I
Yeah,
crazy?
I mean, it's cool. It's cool. But I mean,
And
they
we'll
just
bring
like,
my.
I mean, I really like the Josh Barnett Bloodsport. So, I mean, and they
Is
kind
that
of
pretty
stole
much what
that.
they do?
Yeah, but the Josh Barnett Bloodsport is cool because like people will lose on a knockout from like a DDT. Like if you do like a stiff DDT, they'll just like that's the match. Like they don't do
Oh,
this
that's
stuff
awesome.
now where it's like you do an awesome move and that looks better than the ending, but you plan on that move being the ending, so you do something else that sounds cool later on. They don't really do that. Like if something stiff happens, someone got like it was like a pile driver that got knocked out. Yeah, it was really cool. It's really cool. And then they throw like loaded shots. I mean, they don't try to hurt each other, but it's way stiff. Yeah.
Who showed up the other day at Ring of Honor? Tom Lawler did.
He rules, dude.
Yeah, filthy Tom Lawler. And by the way, just a note, I want to get your reaction to this. Matt Riddle, MLW.
Oh yes, Matt Riddle is now in which I think he was there in 2018.
Yeah,
I
now
believe he
he's
was there before he went to NXT, right?
yeah.
So that
I was
yeah,
surprised
so
they kind of let him go. I think they just got tired of all the drama with him.
with the cocaine and the porn stars and the like.
Well, I didn't hear about the cocaine, the porn stars. I thought about there was some domestic violence and
No,
some.
dude, he tested positive for coke at least twice. By the way, if you test positive for coke, you're a cokehead because that's the because that drug's only in your system for like for like fucking 8 hours, dude. So you like
Oh,
literally just did it that or like yeah, it's like that's one of the ones that if you get caught on a cocaine test, you did cocaine right before you took the test. And that
so
and then he's also like dating he had a few different porn stars he was dating and they were airing their stuff out in public and it was just embarrassing and
they always do.
you know you know
I talk
one of
about.
them says invite your friend over you think they're going to be cool about it and then nope.
All right, took a little break there. Sorry about that, folks, but we're back. I don't know why I said that. You wouldn't know
Yeah, they
anything.
don't even know that we just
Uh,
like time traveled.
and we're back. I want old time radio to come back. And we're back. What are we gonna? We should just do this. No, you know what? I don't want to give it away because I'm clinging on to that idea. I think it'd be good. But anyway, we're gonna go over some of the top things from 2023. I didn't take it as wrestlers or events. I kind of have three unique, well, they're unique to me things.
Oh god, here we go.
So number three, just to prove that I'm not anti AEW, which I'm always saying every 10 seconds, but Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, I didn't like it first. And I remember I got in a fight with our old pal Dan Soder about this one because I just, not a fight, but we had an argument because he's like, Kingston's badass. And I was like, dude, he's not in shape. And part of me is it's the self-loathing. I'm not in great shape, even though I'm getting better shape. So I have to hate other fat people. It's like people are like, Victor, and you'll understand this. They'll say, Vic, why haven't you found love at the this time in your life? And so I'm telling you, I hate myself. So I'm just being honest with you. I, I'm gonna edit this out, but this part out
Yo, you
somehow.
fucking better not, dude. And leave my F word in there too. You fucking better not. That was really funny. God damn it.
I was. Sometimes I try things and they're a
No,
little
that was
too.
dude. You had a real moment, dude. Keep that in. Do not
It
take
was
that out. That was
all right.
fucking funny.
All
Pardon
right.
my
Well, I will
language.
not edit that out. I was just trying to be funny, and also I was pulling from the deep darkness as most comedians do, which I'm not a comedian, but I'm aware of their craft. So Eddie Kingston is not the guy that I want to be. I grew up with you wanted to be Hulk Hogan, except for the balding hair. You wanted to be this hot dog looking like beef guy that would go out there and he was doing whatever it would take for America, and he was lifting giants. He was battling warriors. And so when you see Eddie Kingston, that's not what you get from Eddie Kingston. But Eddie Kingston is so good on the microphone and he is skilled. And you look over this stuff and this whole thing about him being a bum and just taking, I'm the king of the bums. And this just isn't just recently. This is like all year. I've enjoyed the Eddie Kingston story. And I think he's one of the best original things that AEW has. They have blown, again, turning this into an anti-AEW rant, but they've blown a lot of the people and the good things they've had because Eddie Kingston was in TNA for a while, and I remember some of that, but he has just turned himself into a great thing. And like we were talking about with Daniel Bryan, it's starting to feel like he's having these same matches all the time. And you don't get that feeling with Kingston. And I although we've kind of had this battle with Moxley before, I think he brings out the best in Moxley, and I'm looking forward to them having this fight or this wrestling match, or whatever you want to present it as. And I think Eddie Kingston has been one of the best things of 2023.
Wow. Wait, so where were you on him? So like because I think was it 3 years ago or 4 years ago when well dude his story is awesome. Like did you see that thing where I saw him when he came in and wrestled Cody, and then they gave him the live mic, and he did that great promo. And then I immediately was like, "Dude, this guy is something special." And then I went and watched he did some overseas stuff. And I saw the promo where he was like, he had sold a bunch of his gear because he thought he was going to quit because he was like literally out of money and wasn't getting booked. And the whole pandemic thing was happening. And he sold a bunch of his gear and they asked him to go to like Europe to do this tour. And he like just had a live mic and just told everyone, like everyone in NXT is there because I made them better. And they all owe me money. He did this promo that he was just so mad at the world, dude. And you could tell it was like real, but he also was putting it on. But he wouldn't like just the fact that he like got rid of all that stuff and he was just on the verge of quitting. And then he has some people, you know, it also helps when your best friend is like the head of the, or like, you know.
I know I'm making a bunch of Seinfeld references today, but it's like George with the showers, which I can relate to. The first one didn't take.
Oh,
you know, and so Eddie Kingston didn't take with me for a while. I didn't see past this whole stuff, but the more I've watched him work harder and everything, and the more he's a unique character. The way he talks to the cameraman now when the cameraman pops up, like he calls them out by their name and he's like, oh, you're just there, you're pretending. Like he totally goes into the weirdness of the life, you know, like we're supposed to just pretend that there isn't a guy with a camera like you know, sneaking up on you, and you just cut promos and you do these weird things. There's an authenticity to him that you're not getting from the other people.
Yeah. Well, remember when they tried to do that that angle where his girlfriend was like Ruby Soho? Remember that? For no reason, they just made him have a girlfriend, and everyone, like in real life, he has a girlfriend and it's not her. So it's like, but that was so like, they kept doing that kind of stuff to him where they would give him, but yeah, that's why I brought up is because if you watch his face during all the time that he was on camera with Ruby Soho, and it was like when they're kind of touching fingers, like they're dating or something, he looked so miserable, dude. He looked like he was like, they're making me do this. Like he was totally on his face was like, they're making me do this shit. Like this is that, y'all know, no, I'm not banging her. Like and like you said, he's very authentic. Everything he says, I believe. And when he walks to the ring, when he does his little power walk to the ring, dude, I'm like, he makes me forget that it's not real for a few minutes. And then I think he thinks it's real. There's times that I'm like, this guy doesn't know it's like, he's not going to really punch him, right? No. He's great, dude. He's great.
I think he's great. And I get it now. I get it. And I know everyone's, you know, I know if he was listening to this, which he probably most likely is not, more than likely is not, he'd be like, F you for not being with me early on. And I would have to accept that. And that's part of the character. And I love it.
But he would probably respect that you said that, you know, you just couldn't like him at first because you're all, this guy's not in shape. F this guy. Yeah. Like, dude,
you're everything that I hate about myself.
Yes, dude. He would respect the hell out of you for that. I bet you.
Well, I hope so, because I just put it out there, and I'm just saying, it's something out there, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the battle with Cesaro, or actually, what do I call him now? Claudio Castiglione. It doesn't matter. I mean, they haven't done anything with him either. That was the best thing they had with him in Kingston. And again, that's it. So what's your third thing that was best of 2023?
I don't really have an order, but I definitely got to put, I'm going to put LA Knight. LA Knight is my third, because he got, what's up?
Oh, did you just do the LA Knight thing? But I did it all weird.
I thought you were trying to like signal to me like I wasn't looking. I was like, dude, because he almost got Vince, man. He almost got Vince. That old man in charge was like, let's make him the agent of a model, like for some reason. And
was he technically Max Dupree in 2023 for a little bit?
Was he? Or did they?
I think he was, yeah.
Because last year, I think the Royal Rumble last year was the pitch black match with him and Bray Wyatt. So he was coming out of that, I think.
That was SummerSlam, I thought.
Was it?
No, Max Dupree was May 20th, 2022. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he like everyone saw like potential in this dude, and then through life being life on life's terms, I guess he got cut from NXT. He's been like a journeyman. He's been on like reality shows with The Rock. He's done some acting, and now it's like it's and truly like everything that you do in your life lives up to that one moment. And I feel like this year was his moment. Like all the stuff that he had done that he never made it, or like he woke up late in NXT, his alarm clock didn't go off and he got cut. Just like every bad decision that dude made or everything, he finally all the work. Like he was like Daniel's son, and he didn't know why he was doing this move on the deck, dude. And then all of a sudden, 2023, he starts blocking all these kicks when he's doing those moves. Yeah, dude. So it's like it was really
Mopping.
cool, and we haven't seen in a while that like when the fans, not only do the fans handpick people because they handpick people all the time, and they but either the booker doesn't know how to, because it wasn't his idea, so the booker doesn't know how to get that person over. Like Zack Ryder, for instance. Like,
Right.
so when someone gets over because the audience makes them, and they are able to take that and run with it and go higher, I think it's amazing because a lot of people don't do it. And it's really, I'm just like hell happy for that dude. You know what I mean? He's been around a long time. I saw him the first time I'd ever seen him was during the NWA Power, I think.
Yeah.
And I immediately was like,
Yeah.
oh,
To say yeah.
yeah. I was like, immediately, it was like, oh, he's doing a little rock thing. And I'm like, but he stands out from everybody else. He's like an old school wrestler. He's not afraid to do a little gasoline, do a little leaded. He's not afraid to, he looks like an old school throwback. Like he looks like a guy in the 80s, like Hercules Hernandez or one of those type of dudes, just like big body. I don't know. I'm just like, I think it's a great story, dude. And unfortunately,
So
there's like a bottleneck right now. So he's not going to get that title shot again, or he's not going to get a run again. But
they can build him up still. He still has momentum. And to be honest with you, the cool thing is the belt's important, don't get me wrong, but so are the matchups. There were times, you look back in the days, and I don't know why I'm going to throw Roddy Piper and Greg the Hammer Valentine or something, but yeah, there were matches that stood out stood out because they were big matches. Anything with like Jake Roberts, The Undertaker. Remember that stuff? We don't get a lot of that anymore. I don't feel that way. I'd like to see. What's funny is that I think he could have his big moment. And if you want to talk about title, why not LA Knight and Gunther? You know what I'm saying? I don't, they're the antithesis of each other. The Miz is working right now with that, and that's great for the Miz and everything. But LA Knight's probably at this point 5 times better than the Miz. Why wouldn't I want to see a matchup like that? I think there's a lot of potential for that. I don't think everything has to be for the title.
yeah,
And
but Gunther can't lose to him, and he can't lose that. I mean, because I think with Gunther, I think you got to make it. His journey is eventually title versus title, I think, or like
I don't think that.
You don't think so?
I think they'll make him drop it before.
Oh, I don't think you
I
can, dude. I
I
think it's cooler not to.
I love, and I'm looking forward to this AJ Styles versus LA Knight thing, which is weird because those guys were at one point in TNA, right? Both of them weren't they in TNA?
At the same time, were they?
I don't think they were in the same time, but they're both like TNA
Yeah.
products.
Yes. Yeah.
Guys that are made it despite whatever decision they made. You watch that. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Not everything has to be for a belt. I want to see some attraction matches. I remember I used to give a crap about who the Rick the Model Martel was fighting. Remember? That was just as memorable. Remember the Jake the Snake Roberts blindfold versus Martel?
Oh
That
my
was a
god.
huge angle. Those
Yeah.
are essentially their mid-card guys. It's hard to say that about Jake, and because people loved him so much, and I loved him so much at that period. But Martel, man, and you're like, oh, the guy was in a damn bow tie, looked like a male stripper. But I remember that was such a cool build up and everything with the eyes and all that. I know it's a little cartoony. I'm not saying exactly that, but I'm just saying, why can't we have a matchup like that? Him versus AJ Styles would be a great. I'd love to see them go at it. I'd
Yeah.
love it.
So are they
And I
going to do
love
that for the
LA Knight's
Rumble?
finisher. That's what it looks like. And I
Huh.
stand by it.
Interesting.
Stand by it. I agree with you. LA Knight's been a big deal this year.
Yeah. Is that how he
Yeah.
does it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. No, that's Ice Cube. You want to hear my number 2?
Yes.
Super celebs. Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, the
Ugh.
impact that they've had. And I know I'm glad we're talking about this, but these guys actually love wrestling, and they have taken some of the most amazing moments this year, and you gotta give it to them. Besides hating looking at that photo of Logan Paul wearing the U.S. title in the shower, the fact that there's a celebrity that's a legitimate wrestler. Logan Paul's a legitimate wrestler. He has a belt as prestigious as the U.S. title. Is a big deal. You have that Royal Rumble matchup from this year
Oh yeah, yeah.
where with him and Ricochet. And to be honest with you, as much as I love Ricochet's ability, Logan Paul's Ricochet's not in Logan Paul's league.
Yeah, I just
As a
watched
total package.
some of the Raw has like the 1 minute from every Raw, and they just showed one of the promo highlights between Ricochet and Logan Paul, and like Ricochet was on the mic, and every time Logan Paul he would go back at him. Yeah, you're right. He's not on the same level, dude.
And Bad Bunny, that whole thing in Puerto Rico, that weird video. I know that was from last year, I think, with the weird video of him and Booker T in Spanglish. And just the fact that Bad Bunny was in the Rumble too, wasn't he? Yeah, he had a big moment in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's right.
You look at these two guys. I mean, this is how weird it's gotten with these two celebrities. And I wouldn't say this about anybody in the past. And I know you hated the Jackass thing, but that only worked because of Sami Zayn. And I love the Jackass guys. And for the audience, which is me, I enjoyed that matchup. But I would love to see right now. I'm thinking about this. I would see at WrestleMania, high on the mid card, Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny. Can you imagine just those two? Not anybody else, just Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. It would work. Here we have these guys, and they've made so many viral moments and everything. It's crazy. Bad Bunny was out there banging one of the Jenners or whatever her name is, the Kardashian girls, and he's out wrestling and doing shows, and he's a Spanish artist. I don't even know if he's a singer. Is he a rapper or a singer? Nobody knows.
He's a singer. My friend Danny Acosta, friend of the show, he shot one of Bad Bunny's concerts. He shot one of his concerts.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude, he was able to get 25,000 people in the Chase Center wearing like swimwear. His whole tour was like a beach thing, and people came wearing bathing outfits in the middle of winter or summertime, but in SF, so it's like it's never really summertime.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, dude. The first time I ever saw him was when he came out with like Booker T, and I had no idea. I thought Booker T was coming back like wrestling again, dude. I had no idea what was going on.
Still don't know what's going on in that video. He just wanted to be like Booker T. That was it. And I appreciate that about him. And Logan Paul, I don't care for Logan Paul that much. I don't watch his podcast, but he's a big deal. And I actually like, though, that he respects wrestling. He hasn't of all the things he's been like kind of annoying with, the Paul brothers and everything. I'm not annoyed with him in wrestling because he's been very respectful of it, and he's playing the heel.
And he's doing great. I mean, dude, I think I'm trying to I would hate him in real life, dude. Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that dude. But he's really good. He's really good in wrestling because I think he's a shitbag in real life. So, did you hear he got popped for the cryptocurrency, but they swept the story under the rug. But he had to pay $400,000, and they're going to lock the case, and he's never gonna claim fault or never. He basically just paid almost $500,000, and then
I'm
that's
not
it.
saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right at all. But what do you expect?
Yeah, I
You know
would
how
do it too,
you know how I
dude.
feel about white people in general. Tinkle, even though we're friends, the white man gets away with everything.
Yeah.
Fact. I'm just kidding with you
And if you can trick other white people into buying your fake coin that's not even real, then you kind
guys.
of win, right? You kind of
Yeah,
win. It's not
all of
like,
them, have done that stuff. They should get a lot of these celebs. They need to pay the price for that stuff. But anyway, I've been very impressed with the Logan Paul Bad Bunny thing because I remember Snooki and I remember Maria Menounos who loves wrestling, and Maria Menounos, God bless her soul, with her and whatever illnesses she's defeated. But I did not like that. And then who else? Who else has been? There's been some bad.
yeah, they usually, oh, I think one of the first, like, of the newer guys
I
to
mean,
actually take it serious was Stephen Amell from Arrow.
oh yeah, give him credit too. Yeah, he's been
Well, he
great.
actually went, though. I mean, he kind of did what Bad Bunny and Jake Paul did. He actually went and trained, I think, for a bit.
But for every one of those, there's like Rob Gronkowski who during COVID didn't want to do a spot, and Vince is like, "I'll show you," and goes up there. That's again, you hate on Vince, but the fact that he jumped off to show Gronkowski that it was okay to get caught by 10 people from a 12-foot drop.
By the way, I don't hate Vince, dude. I hate any 80-year-old who's going to try to take charge, whether there's younger people around who could do a better job.
Look, Vince is not a child though. Vince is not children.
Hey,
CM
listen,
Punk, CM Punk at this point would rather work for Vince than than this
yeah,
situation.
pretty much.
I love it. I love it. All right, go ahead. What's your next one?
I think my number two is the fall of AEW, dude.
You think they're gonna fall? Really?
Well, no, it's falling now. Maybe next year I can do the AEW comeback. Maybe seeing Punk sucker punches Triple H or Shane McMahon the balls backstage, and then who knows, dude? I mean, dude, a year ago from now, would you think that we'd be talking about CM Punk coming at the
Yeah.
end of like Survivor Series? No way, man. No way.
But you know what? He needed that AEW experience to get over there.
He needed to walk over there and think he's gonna be a big help to everybody and realizes that no one gives a shit, dude.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. So you know what you need to do in life is you need to go somewhere where people do give a shit, dude. And that's what he did. And I think it's really like, yeah, it's like, so this is the AEW, and like just like the business choices, the fact that you can't get people in that locker room to shut up, the fact that there's no one in charge. There's no one in charge, dude. I mean, like, there's not one person in charge, and then of like booking and stories and stuff like that is what I'm saying. There's like, I mean, yeah,
It's all Tony
it's
Khan
all
just
coming to a
winging.
head, I think.
I just really wish he'd get organized, and at this point, turn Ring of Honor over and tell the certain people, don't treat Ring of Honor like it's dark or Elevation Dark or whatever the hell those YouTube shows were.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And by the way, again, another example I forgot, Big Show. That was an awful thing I could have missed out on in 2023, okay? Was watching Big Show post hip surgery come out and try to pretend that he could still wrestle.
Yeah, did no one know that he couldn't walk, dude? I don't understand. Like,
WWE gave him a sitcom. I wanted to see the Big Show continue. That's what I wanted to see because it was hilariously 1980s style and I enjoyed it. But I think AEW needs to figure out what they're going to do. And if you're going to really save Ring of Honor, do something different with Ring of Honor.
he's not though. He's not gonna give anyone the reins to help him, dude. He thinks,
And by the way, the tag team division, which at one point they were like bringing tag team wrestling back, besides FTR, what established tag teams are there in there? They're doing
well,
the like.
established and tag teams are two different things. They have
Well, I
tag
mean,
teams, but they don't have. I mean, Vincent and I mean the finger snapper, whatever his name is. Yeah, Vic. Yeah, it's him and the little paper dolls everywhere. That's like,
Paper doll. That's they should be calling themselves
dude,
paper
it'd be
dolls. The
cool,
righteous.
but Bray Wyatt just died, and it kind of looks like a cover band, sort of. Even though it's not their fault, I don't think they intended it to be, but their whole
Well,
thing
let
is
them.
kind of.
I don't know. I just, at this point, they should just. I'm waiting for him to put the belt of old wrestlers that can't do singles matches with young wrestlers. I feel like Jake the Snake and the Murder Hawk could be one of those. Sting and Darby. Let's think of some other old
Oh
wrestlers
God.
and the Christian and Nick Wayne a little bit. They technically they could be in there. Um, and we'll just call it the old young titles. I don't know what to call it. But he'll probably add those belts. Now, by the way, I'm finally getting ready for this Continental thing because
It's over now. You're like, dude, you know what? I'm
no,
coming around on this.
no, because Eddie made it mean something with those belts. But anyway, look, we go
Let's
off
see. You don't
AEW.
have to make two dudes look super lame and shitty to make one dude put one dude over. There's other ways. That's why you have all the countouts. That's why you have like the DQ. That's why you have all those little rules set up. So every match you can have an out, dude. That's the whole point of that, is so you don't have to pin someone's shoulders 5 times.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, the whole reason why. Ugh.
You want me to tell you what my top thing of 2023 is that I
Sure.
think has also made the rest of 2023 amazing since it happened?
Sure.
The story continues.
Cody.
Roman Reigns beats Cody at WrestleMania 39. Everybody gets mad at the belt, but think of all the
Dude,
stuff
not
that's
just
happened
mad
this
though,
year.
bro. We're talking like people equal parts furious and heart. Dude, my girlfriend didn't watch wrestling for like 2 months after that, dude,
Oh.
because she was so invested in Cody Rhodes.
How
And
much
then,
more invest? Look, he
yeah,
isn't even
I
in the
know.
title picture now, but how much more invested are you? How much are you invested in this weird bloodline story, which isn't gone as well as the other one, but you're still like, what's going to happen with the bloodline?
It was a gamble, and they've definitely done a good job of like.
And
I wondered how
things
they were
have,
going to keep it up, right, for like a year, and I think they've done a really good job of like giving Cody little like mini feuds here and there with Dom, and then you got him and Shinsuke now. You keeping him distracted, but he's never forgetting, and they've done a really good job, because I thought they really messed up last year, dude.
I
I
don't
couldn't
think so.
believe it. I couldn't believe it. Like live in that moment, I was like, "Why would you do that?"
Even you know that I'm all about the tribal chief, but even I was like, oh my God, I'll be nice to see Cody win the world title, but it's going to be even more
Yeah.
compelling. And I will tell you this too. Look at some of the stuff that just, and it's not all because of it, but I think that was an opportunity for other things to happen. And even with CM Punk and with Randy Orton coming back, look at Nick. All of a sudden, this Nick Aldis thing on SmackDown has been compelling. Have you seen that? Where he's given crap to Roman Reigns?
I read about it. Yeah.
It's been really interesting where he's like, no, you don't run SmackDown, I run SmackDown. And it's believable because Aldis got this person. Aldis, of all people, is like, without even having to wrestle, is becoming. He comes in there with his tight suits because he's jacked, and he's having these amazing vignettes or skits or whatever you want to call them, promo moments with Roman Reigns where he's letting them know that he runs that place. And now you're seeing Roman Reigns get annoyed and pissed off, and you're like, what is going to happen here? What is going to happen next? To the point where it's like, I would like to see an all this Roman Reigns match, which is crazy to think of.
Well, that's what's cool, is all this can go, dude.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know, like if you never watched TNA or NWA, you don't know all this.
I'd even watch an Aldis Adam Pierce match next year at this point. I don't even like but I'm liking this whole thing and how it's going. And every once in a while you get reminders that there's still stuff floating in the air. Like the other day, Jimmy Uso said yeet, and Roman Reigns didn't like that. And you're like, oh, whoa, something's going on. Oh, well, yeah, it's still going on. Where he anointed Solo the the prince or the prince of the Samoan dynasty, the next head of the table. And then we're gonna have LA Knight versus some like, again, we're talking about LA Knight and everything earlier. LA Knight's gonna be fighting Solo Sakao. I'm looking forward to
Oh,
that.
win.
That's what they're leading to with. They
Oh, okay.
were. They're gonna get back off. I think that's gonna be his WrestleMania match.
Who
Is him and Solo. I think, and you know what? I like that. We're just talking about the model Rick Martel. That is
yeah.
no model Rick Martel. That's Solo. That Solo is a legitimate attraction. I'd love to see him versus LA Knight.
Dude, LA Knight and Solo
Yeah.
blindfold match, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he's giving him the thumb, but he's putting in his ass the whole time because he's blindfolded and he can't see him. So he just keeps giving him the spike in the butt and the
Oh my
ear
goodness.
and the belly button. Spike. And then the crowd's laughing because it's like, you hit him on the butt again. Haha. I'm telling you, it's a good match.
I wish once a year they'd take an old gimmick and revisit it. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Like the Mounties, like the Quebecers. I think they should bring those guys back. Did you ever hear about that? Do you know why they were the Quebecers?
No.
Because apparently the Canadian government was pissed off that the Mountie was the Mountie. And they didn't like that. So they changed it and went with the Quebecers. Who won?
I can see that because like I never heard of a Mountie before. And then the only Mountie I see is this real asshole who's like cheating and beating all my favorites. And he's like using a fucking weapon.
You think about it, it's Dudley Do Right, which was what, the 50s? And then the 80s with the Mountie.
Oh, when he beat Bret Hart. Oh, I was so mad, dude.
Everything about that, it's easy to correct. Even like the Repo Man, looking back at it, Repo Man was hilarious. He was a Repo Man. He was out there stealing stuff.
Yeah, for all those like jackass, like the dumpster dude and the hockey player, like their Repo Man was the least offensive of all. He was
essentially the WWE's version of the Hamburglar, and the Hamburglar was over. So was the Repo Man.
That's so weird. Like it was so broad, right? He just came out like, oh. It's like, first of all, dude, if you really are a thief who walks into a house like, oh boy, let me go find something to steal right now.
He had an old school mask over his eyes.
Yeah, that covered up.
Hilarious. He had a raccoon eyes.
Yeah, he did have the rat too.
He had a rope because he was going to steal stuff. Take it back. By the way, he wasn't stealing. He was a Repo Man. Remember that?
Yeah, he was like stealing. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything bad. He was taking back from people who were living outside their means.
All right, let's talk about this social media stuff then. Let's see what the people wanted to say about 2023, maybe what they want to see in 2024. I don't know quite.
Well, why don't you make a bold prediction first for 2024? I already made mine. I'm saying Jericho is going to weasel his way into Sting's final match somehow, dude.
I don't think there's going to be a woman main event at WrestleMania night 1 or 2. Like a real main event last night of the thing. I think CM Punk's going to get into the first night, and I think Cody Rhodes, Roman's going to headline the second night.
Dude, CM Punk may have it in his contract, dude.
He might.
He may have it in his contract because he's like, this shit's not going to happen. Well, because look, they always say, if you're like the baby face, you can't promise stuff that your character's not going to do. Because that's how you lose it. So he already said like, I'm going to headline. Like he wants his goal to be the headline. You can't say that unless they've already, maybe not this year or like maybe next year. But yeah, I guarantee you it's already been. Yeah, who do I don't know. Let's see here. So by the way, my third one in the best of the year was definitely CM Punk, but we've talked like it's not. So
no, I think it won, and it's so crazy that it happened like a month before the year ended that we've had like the most epic return in quite some time. And you know what's weird is that I felt like I knew that it was going to happen, and maybe a lot of people felt that way, but it was still shocking.
So one of the first guesses, Jericho is going to land himself in either jail or rehab. So that is a prediction for 2024.
I don't think so. I think that's not going to happen.
That's not, but it's not impossible.
Yeah. Look,
I mean, he's definitely going into the new year drunk. I mean, he did
he's in way better shape than I am. But yeah, we never really touched upon that.
yeah, he got drunk at 4 a.m. on Christmas and started picking a fight with a lawyer who's like
And then he
a
says
real
he saw
lawyer.
everything. I don't know. I just think I'm like over Jericho.
Yes, yeah, he was fibbing online about his place in the
I can put him into the same category as the Hardys and Sting and some of these people. To where it's like,
oh, he's on my number one. Like, dude, get the F off my TV, dude.
he's been kind of well, he had his moments. But it's all like the song thing was cool for one moment, but I thought I think he jumped the shark when he walked out and sang his own song.
Dude, he jumped the dude. That was a night that he fucked the shark. He jumped the shark several. I'm sorry, I had to, dude. This is like a PG-13. In my head, I got one F word. I saved it for that. He fucked the shark. I thought it was perfect. I'm sorry if you want to, but
no, we're good. We're good.
Oh, dude, that remember that embarrassing thing he did when he was trying to do like the Freddie Mercury thing at All In, and he tried to get the audience to do that. Remember that when he was trying to get the audience to do the sing along, and everyone was just looking at him. It was so embarrassing.
Like,
it was so embarrassing, dude.
We're not here for you. We're here from CM Punk and
dude,
everybody
that
else.
was like like take the keys away from the drunk uncle moment. Like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing, dude. What's happening? Like,
at some point, like Edge is, even give Edge credit, Edge is and Christian, both of them, they're like being themselves. I don't feel like they're trying to be cool. Maybe a little bit with Edge's gear.
They're not having a midlife crisis, and they're both
Jericho is like, I'm a rock star, and it's like, okay. Like I'm kind of just over the Fozzy thing. They haven't put out any new music in a while, anyway.
Yeah, no, it was always like a vanity project, right? I mean, he just like, he found some actual good studio musicians, but I mean,
the band's original name was Fozzy Osbourne, and
yeah,
the logo was the Muppet and Ozzy.
Aren't a couple of the guys from that group stuck Mojo, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
which was a legit. That's why they keep getting booked.
Yeah,
vocalist, but it's like like how long have they been playing Judas? Judas in my mind,
5 years, 6 years.
Even Randy Orton's had a couple of new theme songs. I know he's
well,
with this problem. One for a little while.
If you're a one-hit wonder and you play your song to walk out, you got one song, dude. He ain't a 5-hit wonder, or else we would have heard a couple of other ones.
I feel like
I did like one of his other songs though, on the Lights Go Out song. I listened to that song a few times before I got embarrassed.
Remember the Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he's with the hobo on the train, and they're like singing, and they're just like, skip to my Lou.
Oh yeah,
skip to my Lou. And they do, oh Susanna, and then Pee-wee's like, okay, and then he's like, Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn, and I don't care. Jimmy, and he's like, oh, all right already. That's where I am with Jericho. That is my long explanation for that one. Great film.
Friend of mine from the first grade.
Nice.
His name is Tony Brown. He goes by Anthony now, but he's Tony in our hearts. He knows this. He wrote, Hogan is going to come back and dethrone Roman Reigns. Why does people try to be funny, dude? And prevent him from breaking the 4-year run at the world champ. Yeah, that was, God damn it, Tony. You've been just as funny as you were when you were 6.
Tony, it's Nick Hogan's going to come out. Nick Hogan's going to come out, and he's going to crash his vehicle into Roman Reigns because
it was so. Dude, the amount of time it would take for Hulk Hogan to like hobble down to the ring and get a surprise fist and leg drop on Roman Reigns. We're talking like WrestleMania Night 3, dude. Like it's gonna, he has, dude. Like and if he does land a leg drop, he ain't getting back up, dude. Like they're gonna have to do a Money in the Bank ambulance angle right away.
That hip got one leg drop left in it.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna.
That's the one where he falls on his back and dies at home when he slips. Oh, dude. Let's see here. We got Jimmy Menez. Dude, I know this guy very
That's
well. And I
disrespectful
can't.
to Mexicans
I
right there. Your
know.
friend
I
Danny's gonna be
know.
mad about that one.
This whole episode we're talking about Mexican stuff, and I'm like, yeah,
This
some
got
Mexican
really
shit. I don't know
brown
how
in
to say
here.
this. I don't
Tinkle
know.
told me off cam that it's too brown in here, but go ahead.
I said, I don't know if you know this about me, but I like my tacos soft with white flour. This is what. Kidding. I enjoyed AEW's decline from viable promotion to indie just because they fired CM Punk. That's a great point, dude. They literally went to TNA after one firing, and all they had to do was have someone in charge who would have never let that shit go down to start with, and it would be fine.
Bishop doesn't like CM Punk. They were gonna fight or something, but he's 100% right about that. Like right now,
Yeah.
they're just overhyped. I'm getting ready because they're gonna start doing halftimes for Jaguars games soon.
And then, they are. Oh,
And
really?
by the way, the Jaguars are on the decline too. They had it all in the bag for a moment, but I don't think the Jaguars are gonna make the playoffs. So there you go, Tony. What are you gonna do with that? You got 3 failing franchises.
He does, right?
Yeah, because the soccer team isn't that great.
Yeah, soccer team is not. Yeah.
No. Yeah, we
Um.
call it soccer in America, folks. Soccer.
Oh, and this dude Jimmy, who I ruined his last name, he also made a really good point. He said that after CM Punk left AEW, TNA started to get actually pretty good now, which is true. I think AEW has lost some momentum, and TNA is like that nugget that won't flush. If I can quote.
What if the big swerve when I drive and I swerve and I drive? What if the big swerve is that WBD dumps AEW and they sign TNA? Yeah.
I don't.
It ain't gonna happen, but
Yeah,
what if
no.
it's the swerve, man? That's Vince Russo stuff right
Yeah,
there.
that is like a swerve for the sake of being a swerve. Like,
And we swerve when we drive, and we swerve when we podcast.
my buddy Josh Means, really funny roast writer. He's done I saw this guy do like a naked roast. So not only do I know this guy quite well, and he's a friend of mine, but I've also seen his wiener and his butt cheeks.
Is that with Zach D'Amico, or is it a different thing?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the naked. Did you know that when a male gets insulted, his penis shrinks?
Is it true?
I saw it happen in real life. It's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Josh Means said, remember, this year's been awesome. Remember how good the Rumble was? And then Roman Sammy, good point. And then his favorite part of 2023 was Shane McMahon tearing his quad muscle at WrestleMania. Dude, awesome. It has been a long year. I forgot about that, dude.
It has been crazy.
Dude, oh my God. Are you going to call it, dude? Do you think Shane comes back for a triumphant leapfrog and an elbow? What do you think, dude?
I think Prince Nana jumps ship and he comes out to the money song with Shane McMahon. That's our 2024.
That would be the shit.
Here comes the money, and Prince Nana makes it better.
And then he starts doing this. Yeah.
And I swerve when I'm money, and I swerve when I'm. Sorry, I'm really focused on the Nana right now. Not the ill Nana, the Prince Nana.
Bold prediction for 2024. Gunther holds both the IC and the world title. Dude, I was listening to our episode last week. Man, if they can get that a CM Punk Gunther, dude, in Germany, like we were saying, dude, champion versus champion, and then you could have CM Punk would definitely go.
I think it's going to be more like SummerSlam, where the Intercontinental heads up that card. I don't think you do champ. I think champion versus champion.
I'm saying if they want to do a champ versus champ, that's when they do it, but they probably aren't going to.
Yeah, that's when you do it.
Is that one after Mania? Is that one in May?
The Berlin was it Bash in Berlin?
I think so. The Bash in Berlin.
The Bash in Berlin.
I'm saying if someone kind of lower tier wins the belt, then Gunther could
August. That's August of next year. That's a
Oh,
long way
that's
away.
like before. Oh, you know what? He may get it, and then they'll drop it at SummerSlam, right? Because SummerSlam is in August also.
You know what's funny that we haven't thought about, but I'm looking forward to this in the new year as well. There's a Money in the Bank briefcase out there that
Oh,
we've now kind of forgotten about.
Damien Priest, dude, right?
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
the Puerto Rican, the rich man's, the rich man's murder hawk.
Yeah, the rich man. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, he's got that belt, man, and that briefcase.
And you know what else I love about Damien Priest is he has
Did he?
tattoos and none of them are mistakes.
Are they
They,
trying to
they all
cover him up? Is that why they're making him wear the shirt? Does he have something that's trademarked?
I don't know. I never really thought about that. I just always thought he's one of those dudes who like, because he used to be like super heavy. So I just always figured like he was one of those guys who like is never gonna get ripped.
He
So he
wrestled
just wear a
without a shirt
shirt.
for the longest time, though.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
know
always
why
thought
they
he wore like a yeah. You're right, he
be
did.
like a vest. I don't like. It's like a bondage. It's like the Archer of Infamy bondage Robin Hood type thing. I keep thinking of that Kevin Costner movie. There's no love like your love, and no
Oh,
other.
everything
Yeah.
I do it to you
Oh
for
no, I
you.
went into the meat of the song
You did.
there,
You went right to the. I was screwing off.
but
I was just
that's
blowing. I was just blowing air in Kevin Costner's ear as he's
yeah.
trying to shoot an arrow.
They should just do that. They should just call him instead of the Archer. They should just call him the Robin Hood, the new Robin Hood.
Yeah, I hate that Archer infamy, dude. And then when they say, do you remember? I remember when they say the Archer infamy, and wait, do they still do that where he shoots the
Every
imaginary
once in a
flame?
while, he does that.
Oh
Yeah,
God, yeah, it's so cheesy.
and they
Because
go.
he's not like a cheese ball, and that's really cheesy. Um, let's see, Ali Mafi, another comedian, really funny dude. He says that 2023 will be known as the rise of the dominance of the WWE, which I think is probably that's probably the top. CM Punk would be second, if not first, but that's probably the big one.
Well, let's give credit to the man who did it all before Punk came on, and that was Dominic Mysterio.
I thought you were going to say Virgil, but all
Yeah,
right.
Virgil with that meat sauce. He said, "Dom, here's that meat sauce for you." Poor Virgil.
Yeah, right.
God bless you.
Someone says that, and Ali also says in 2024 that Mercedes will return to the WWE, but that class will be in the back burner for the new class, which is Belair, Ripley, Io Sky, and Cargill. Interesting. That's an interesting take.
I say 2024 is the year of Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffany Stratton,
Do you really?
both for her look and her moves. You got to watch that hardcore match she had with Becky Lynch. You got
Yeah,
to
I don't want
watch.
to see. I don't want to
She
see it.
busted her eye. She was tough and beautiful. Tough and pretty, oh so pretty, Tiffany Stratton.
Is that a song from Aaron Neville? I think it is, dude.
No, I think I did, but I'm doing it in the stylings for Aaron Neville.
So that's a lot of the feedback. What do we? Oh wait. There we go. 2024 CM Punk. That's Tony D'Amco. And let me see. They want to see Hobbs win. Oh, this guy saw Hobbs win the big gold hemorrhoid pillow at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. So that was his
Oh,
favorite. Yeah, do you remember that when like Hobbs wasn't on TV for like 4 months, and then all of a sudden he was going to be going to his hometown, and then all of a sudden they like gave him a rocket for 3 days, and then he like had his big night, and then they partnered him up with QTV.
you know what they got to do with
Oh
him?
my God, they suck, dude. What the?
I know.
How
They
do
got to
you
do
ruin
it.
Hobbs, dude? How do you? He's a specimen, dude.
You gotta, you know what you and they started it and then they go back. But that what's the shirt? What's his shirt say right now? Will you look that up real quick?
Hobbs.
Hobbs's new shirt, because what I'm trying to say is with Booker T, when they stopped trying to make him something he wasn't, and they let Booker T be a adult black man and a non-cartoon character, Even when he became a cartoon later, it was cool because they let him be himself. Yeah, big, black, and jacked. That's exactly what they need to let Hobbs be.
Dude, that shirt is dope. And but I mean, you're also not
I want to
allowing.
buy it, but it's not true if I wear
It's
it.
not appropriate. Yeah, I can't wear it either.
Big, black, and jacked. See, again, by the way, why would you put that on a shirt? Here's another thing. He can wear it. But why
No,
would you put that on-
dude, let's talk about it because there's a lot of the world who cannot wear this shirt as in fear of offending and or getting your ass kicked in public and or just being a
Can
homer.
you see
dude.
a little Will Hobbs fan, little white kid, blonde hair, who's thinks that Will Hobbs is awesome and he's wearing a big black and jack. Again, maybe that's why the Young Bucks wife left the merchandising thing. Maybe that was a good example. It's like, oh,
Dude,
like
can
that
someone
maybe
can someone who knows how to Photoshop, can you please find a stock photo of a toddler and put a big black and jacked shirt on him? Please. I beg of you. Somebody, please, please.